As of tomorrow, Juneteenth, the day marking the end of slavery, is a federal holiday. Juneteenth is observed on the 19th of the month, but because it lands on Saturday this year, most federal employees will be able to celebrate this Friday. For millions, the commemoration is long overdue and far more significant than another day off. Amna Nawaz explains.
Judy, Juneteenth is either observed or an official state holiday in 49 states and the District of Columbia. The effort to make it a national holiday goes back decades. But today, President Biden signed a law making it the first new federal holiday since 1983. Now, Juneteenth commemorates what took place on June 19, 1865, when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced to enslaved Black people they were free. That came 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation and 2 months after the Confederacy surrendered. We explore the significance of this moment with Professor Khalil Gibran Muhammad. He's a professor of history, race, and public policy at Harvard Kennedy School. He's also the former director of the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. Professor Muhammad, welcome to the NewsHour. Thanks for being with us. So Juneteenth is now added to the list of federal holidays that includes things like New Year's Day and Martin Luther King Day and Memorial Day, Independence Day. What's the significance of this day joining this list?
Well, the significance is that for the first time in American history, America's original sin, that is slavery, will be center in a commemorative moment annually that will bring parents and children, teachers and students, and everyday Americans and newcomers alike together with the hope and possibility that they will reflect on the meaning of that history so that we might reconcile with our present.
Why do you think that's important, especially at this point in American history?
Well, in our political climate where conversations about the fragility of our democracy, protests around systemic racism, an ongoing climate crisis that will require all of us to come together across partisan lines. We are facing some serious existential threats in this country, of which race and racism in many ways animate so much of the problem. And so to have a holiday that could become a way of reminding ourselves of the obligations that we owe each other, this is a big deal.
What about education? I mean, I know you say the holiday can remind all of us of a history a lot of people don't learn about in their formal education. Juneteenth is often not taught in our formal school systems. You learn about sort of exceptional stories from slavery. We all know about Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. Do you think this becoming a federal holiday could change that?
Well, I think there's a lot of momentum and possibility and movement in that direction. Indeed, some of the people who've been organizing for Juneteenth as a national holiday have centered the holiday around education, wanting to see the recognition of the day itself as part of the curriculum in American schools. And so perhaps this is the tip of an iceberg of a more capacious understanding of the American past. But I think it's also an important reminder that in this political moment, states are passing bills to keep histories like Juneteenth and what they mean out of schools. And so it's not clear how much this will move forward in curriculum anytime soon.
You mentioned this political moment. We should point out this had overwhelming bipartisan support, which is not something we get to say often in Washington. Did that surprise you?
Yes, it did, admittedly. But upon further reflection, I think in a Congress that is debating protecting voting rights for all Americans, making it easier to vote and not harder at the federal level, questions about how to solve for police violence against unarmed people and other aggressions directed towards people, this is easier than that legislation. And so I do think we have to keep in mind that politics are still at play.
You also mentioned, of course, this moment in American national conversations when we are talking much more about racism in American history and the systemic racism that persists today. Do you think we would be at this moment today had we not had the last year of not just national protests, global protests in response to the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis?
In my opinion, no. In my opinion, when millions of Americans, numbering anywhere from 15 to 26 million, according to the New York Times, participated in racial justice protests a year ago, the conversation about the significance of Juneteenth, the anniversary of the Tulsa massacre, its centennial just passed, have all thrown in sharp relief the urgency of reconciling with our past in order to make for a different and a more just and racially egalitarian future. And so I don't believe that this holiday would be where we are at this moment were it not for all that activity a year ago.
Finally, we've noted, of course, several states have been commemorating Juneteenth in some way. And of course, millions of Black Americans have been marking the day for generations. I wonder what you would say to everyone else in the country, to white Americans, Latinx Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans, about how they should mark this day.
Yes, well, this is a country, the United States of America, that gained its footing in the world and its wealth and its land on the backs of the indigenous and the enslaved. And for anyone who claims America as their home, whether it's an old home or an adopted home, owes a debt to those people. And therefore, this is everyone's holiday. The very notion of freedom itself, a freedom delayed, a freedom aborted, and a freedom that is fragile, is one that we ought to all remind ourselves as much as possible is one that has to be fought for and to be vigilant guardians of.
Professor Khalil Gibran Muhammad of Harvard Kennedy School, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
You're so welcome.
Good morning. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Yes. I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside, it's easy to love you. Behind your tears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. Please, let's all sing. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge on but people just like me. Yes. Down till birth of peace on earth, that only love will help the world with everything. I love myself way I am until I want to change. I know I know I'm beautiful and capable are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Yes, I hold you in my heart always. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God.
So if you'll just sit back in your chair and close your eyes and go into your heart space while I offer this prayer. And today I recognize that there is just one power, one presence that is all-knowing and powerful, and it is everywhere. It is in and through me as me. And as I know this is true for me, I know it's true for each and every person listening to this prayer. And I am so very grateful. I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful that there's a divine plan for every cell, every organ. I know that as I move throughout my day, I am the change I want to see in this world. I show compassion, love, peace, harmony. I'm so grateful that I live in a country where we can celebrate freedom. I'm so very grateful. I'm very grateful for this center that taught me all these beautiful principles. I'm grateful for the sound booth, for Julius, for Yvonne, for Patty and Charlie, my ministers that helped me through every class to bring me to this day. I'm grateful for the Ministry of Prayer team, where one phone call and it's done. I'm just so very grateful. I'm grateful for all the people that have showed up today at this center. I wish you peace and harmony. I now release my word into that absolute perfect law that always says yes. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Kathy. That was beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. So grateful for you, Kathy.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Are we ready?
Yes.
My husband asked me, are we ready? Well, just look at my face. Don't I look ready? I mean, I'm ready. Are you guys ready? Well, stand up if you want. There we go. That's too loud. That's too loud. I am blessed. I am blessed. Yeah. Every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning, lay my head to rest, I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. Yes, you are loved every day of my life. I am loved, 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 loved. Yes, you are. When I wake up in the morning, oh, I lay my head to rest. I am am healed. Woo! I am healed. Yes, I'll take it every day of my life. I am healed. When I wake up in the morning, lay my head to rest. I am healed. Yes, I am healed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Give it to me. I am blessed. Yes, you are. Every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning, yeah, lay my head to rest. I am blessed. Yeah, you got the yeah. I am blessed. I do too. Uh-oh. I am blessed. Yes. I am blessed with a lot of breath every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning, lay my head to rest. I am blessed, yes. I am blessed. Oh, I am blessed. I am blessed. I feel so blessed. I am blessed. Yes, you are blessed. I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. I'm so blessed. Blessed to be here with my friends.
Patty Powers and Dave. Yes, I'm Reverend Cheryl Bell. This is my sister and co-minister, Reverend Stacy Hilton. Oh, good old, what's her name? While you're standing, if it's comfortable for you, please say with us, God bless America and the rest of the world. Now, we're still not hugging, but just turn to a neighbor and just say welcome, good morning, and all that good stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, all right. I am. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. All right, you know, today is my half birthday.
Happy birthday.
She's 75 and a half.
What'd you say, 61?
Don't listen to her. And I got the half birthday from her. So. And guess what? It's also one of our members, Larry Seeley's birthday.
It is. And you know what? He was born on Father's Day. He was born on a Father's Day.
That's right.
And today is Father's Day, so happy birthday. This one's for you.
She loves singing happy birthday.
I do love it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Larry. We love you so much. Happy birthday to you. Right today?
Yeah.
Today is Oliver's birthday too.
Happy birthday, dear Oliver. I didn't know. Happy birthday to you. I'll do this all day. Did I miss another one?
I know. I remembered that, but I forgot it as soon as I came up on stage. Anybody that's having a birthday this month, just put it in, and they're joining us virtually. Just put it in the chat, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So last Wednesday, we went bowling. I put on by our, we had some ringers in the crowd, but that's okay. And I had not bowled probably for 10 years. So I just
won an award though.
Oh, don't tell them.
What was it? What was it?
It was the first gutter ball.
What is an award?
I guess you have to be good at something. Oh my goodness. We had such a good time. Wow, excuse me, Stacy. She's on camera. Don't steal her camera spot. Yeah. So, let's see, we had 17 of us bowlers. There were 9 of us observers. Now the strike winners was Anthony DeStefano, Oliver, whose birthday is today, Ethan and Charlie. Wow. We had lots of raffles, we had lots of pledges, and if you look out on the happenings table, your pledge is on a sheet of paper there, and I'll tell you what you owe Yvonne and Amy as ambassadors of fun. Oh, the highest final score was Oliver. You won the highest final score. See, I told you there were some ringers in the crowd that we, professional bowlers we weren't aware of. Yes. The highest dollar pledge was Yvonne. She got her family on board.
Yeah, she can bowl too.
Yes. They bid. She said that they bid high, $1 a pin, because they didn't have faith in how many pins she would knock down.
I won't be able to do that again.
Yeah. Next time, we might get a different. Yeah.
We have to get some new ringers.
Some new ringers. Yes. Who's here for the first time? Anybody here for the first time on Father's Day? For goodness sake, anyone virtually here for the first time? Please just put a comment in the comment section. But it looks like we're all. Well, I recognize a lot of you. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
All right. Reverend Stacy has this beautiful poem is it a poem? Would you call it a poem? Okay, it's something. A reading for Father's Day. It says, today is for the fathers. It is for the grandfathers, uncles, brothers, friends, and sons. For the most important man in anyone's life, the one who gave us life. Here's to you, the dads who play endless games of go fish with their kids and always let them win, and those who always play to win every time, thinking that their children would grow stronger through defeat. This is for the fathers who worked in fields and factories, taught in classrooms, or sat in office cubicles 8 long hours a day. Here's to those who performed life-saving surgery and those who drove their truck through long days and nights. Here's to those who loved every minute of their labor, and to those who only worked so their families could survive.
To the sleepless dads who have waited in silent fear that their babies wouldn't make it through the night, or their teenagers survived their first time driving alone. Those who lost children and those who found them in different ways. Here's to tears not shed and hugs not given for fear of appearing weak. Here's to dads who build with hammer and saw, and those who wouldn't know how. The fathers who are afraid of spiders and yet can slay the great dragon of fear in his little ones. The fathers who tried and those who didn't. The fathers who gave us life and walked away, and those who stayed long past the life of their marriage to give something to their children. Here's to the fathers who love their children's mothers, and to those who no longer could. The fathers who hurt because their children have been kept from them, and those who are born or are both father and mother. Stay-at-home dads and stay-away dads, the one we wanted but never knew. The helpless hurting father and the brave strong one, and for all the ways of fatherhood, here's to you.
Oh my goodness.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
To my dad, Arthur Hilton, to my brother, Jeffrey Hilton, and to my grandfather, Oswald Hilton. I love and appreciate all the love and support that you've always given me.
Can I say, I want you all to call, if your father's still on this plane, call your father, call your brother, call your uncle, call somebody. I'm going to call my dad right now.
Nice.
He's in Louisiana. I'm going to put him on speaker.
Okay, good.
She's modeling what we all should be doing.
Yes.
If your father's on this plane, give him a shout out. He did the best he could.
Daddy?
Yes, happy Father's Day.
Hey, I'm supposed to say that to you. How are you?
Say that to everybody that's a father.
Okay. You know, I'm at church, so you have to say Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Okay, happy Father's Day, everybody.
All right, Daddy. Bye. Talk to you later. Bye.
We love and appreciate all of you dads out there. We wouldn't be here without you.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes. My dad's 85, by the way.
Oh my gosh, you sound so
And you're
adorable.
75. How's that work?
How does that work?
It doesn't.
It does not add up right.
This song is called That's Life, and this would. Are we doing? Oh, are we not doing That's Life first? No, are we doing That's Life first? Is that true? Or did I just change it?
I don't even know.
Oh, change is gonna come. I apologize. Change is gonna come first. Well, you know what caught me? Sorry. You know what? What I was thinking about was my dad. Because my dad loves That's Life, so I was going to sing that, and you guys all would have gone through with it just fine. But you know what? We're going to do another wonderful song. A change is going to come.
I'll save my dad dedication for the next one.
All right.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change don't come. Oh, yes, it will. When I go to the movies and I'll go downtown, still some tell me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother. I say, brother, help me, please. Oh, I don't know how it happened, but he just keeps knocking me right back down on my knees. Oh, it's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know to be on the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yeah, change is gonna come. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Aren't Patty and Dave something? Give them another hand. Okay, happy Father's Day. How many are fathers here? How many are mothers here? How many are fathers and mothers here? Okay. See, we had all of the above. And so in honor of Father's Day, I want to start by inviting us to reflect on the idea, the spiritual idea of the Heavenly Father. Ernest Holmes says, the divine and universal creative spirit immediately perceived as the indwelling presence. That's the definition of the Heavenly Father. The Father which art in heaven is the incarnation of God in us. God in us. The Father and the Son, that creative spirit. He also called it the parent mind. I don't think I had heard of that before I read it in preparation for being with you right now. This is a parent mind in us right now. It's that internal and eternal oneness. Oneness. Wherever we find it, the difference is not. The difference is not. Our difference is not in our essence. It's a matter of degree. We are that which created us. We are that which sent us. We are that which we love and express. Jesus affirmed, so it is written. He didn't really tell it to me personally. Would be a more interesting conversation, I think. However, the Father and I are what? One. And that, however, no individual or individualized being manifests the entire Godhead. That's what Jesus said. Not the entire. We are part with that which created us. We are part of that which lives and moves and has our being. But not the whole enchilada. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. My daddy was raised as a Roman Catholic, as was I, of course, right? Because in those days, you're your father's daughter, you're your father's son, and whatever your father's religion is, that's your religion too. Is that correct? They're not sure. Well, maybe that was just at my house, so I'll own it. My favorite, you would think it would be the prayers, but really I love the holy water. I love that idea of a physical outpicturing of that joy, that reverence, that perfection. So we're the same thing as what created us. The difference is not in the essence, but in the degree. In the degree. Now, my daddy had a lot of influence over me. And I really would have loved to do things that would make him happy that I thought. But when I got married to a Southern Baptist, as a Catholic girl, I don't know, how many Catholics do we have here, or former Catholic? Okay, so remember, there was, in our services, there was a lot of standing, sitting, kneeling, etc., right? That's sort of inside knowledge. You need to know, it needs to make sense. That which seemed special to us doing all that was foreign to my husband, because he would invariably be standing when we were sitting, kneeling when we were standing, and it was quite confusing. And the focus wasn't really spiritual. It was on the out-picturing of whatever we thought we were doing. And maybe it meant something to me. It meant nothing to him but confusion, and to some degree, embarrassment. So we wanted to join and worship a place where we could understand. And we found Founders Church of Religious Science and Ernest Holmes. We lived in Hollywood at the time. And eventually, we got, like so many couples, we moved out to the end. We thought it was the end of Earth. It was really Diamond Bar. It hadn't been developed yet, but it was so far away from Hollywood. And we bought our first house, signed up. We were scared to death because we thought we were going to have to pay that bill for 30 years. I didn't know. We didn't know. And the house was a 4-bedroom, small house. William Lyon still built some. It was $75,000. We thought it was just so expensive, and we were so scared. And we actually did enjoy it, and we sold it. A few years, it went to $125,000. I know people say, golly, I wish I had that price today. Progress, right? Change is going to come. I didn't know that that would be the change. Years later, I went to Pomona Valley Church of Religious Science, where I began to take classes. And later to Huntington Beach with Peggy Bassett. And so I took so many classes, I was starting to change my thinking and changing my life. And I knew it. So one day I had the talk with my daddy, and I let him know that one day I might not be Catholic. And as time went on, I said, actually, one day I might become a minister of religious science. So here I was, a form, I guess, of confession. But I thought I needed to say that to my dad because I knew how important the faith was to him. And he said, you know, Wanda, I am Catholic. Catholicism works for me. But I'm glad to see you are growing. I'm glad to see you are learning to think for yourself. And that's a good sign. I was amazed. I was stunned. Because I was sheepish. In my assertion, I might be with a microphone right now, but I certainly wasn't that way with my dad. With my dad. And you know, I did become a minister of passport. Practitioner first. But my daddy was there the whole time. And he came to my ordination. And in those days, Daddy didn't really get on airplanes, and we weren't happy when he drove a car. You fill in the blanks. But he came. He was there. Now, I had a sister, and her name is Lisa, the same name as my granddaughter. She has the same birthday, March 8th, as my granddaughter. But she's not the reincarnation. Please don't go there. I told my son, please don't do that. But what happened was, she was 21. And she passed away. And it was close to Valentine's Day, and I was doing renewal of vows for the couples in my congregation. And my daddy wanted me to come home, which at that point was Las Vegas, because she was on life support. And they wanted to talk about the next steps, and they wanted everybody there. In the meantime, I've got people in my congregation that are renewing their vows and my commitments and everything else. So I couldn't just come right away. Mary Way, a practitioner of religious science who had come from Claremont, was here in Las Vegas, First Church of Religious Science, and the minister there in support sent her to the hospital, the Catholic hospital, of course, to be with my family until I could get there. And when I got there, then I was taken immediately to the hospital where they had already decided to discontinue this 21-year-old girl from life support. And that was hard for me for a number of reasons. Particularly hard was by this time I had seen so many so-called impossible things become real. So I had learned from my experience not to automatically write any of those things off. Some Catholic would call it a miracle. What do we call it in religious science? Do you know?
Demonstration.
Demonstration. Absolutely. And it's a demonstration of spirit. Spirit is real. So we went on with the plan, even though I wasn't totally convinced. I'd only been there 5 minutes. And then it was time for the memorial service. And my stepmom said, why don't we have a minister in the family, why don't we let her do the service? And they asked me, my dad asked me, and I said, okay, yes, I will do it. I said, but I'm not the priest. My way would not be the way that the priest would do it. And he said, that's okay. That's fine. And so I did. Very nervous because I needed to do the service the way I was taught. From my beliefs, what I was teaching, that of course was inclusive, but it wasn't the priest. He said, oh, well, she had last rites. We took care of all that at St. Rose Hospital. Go ahead and do it. And one of the things that I said, I was moved to say, from Khalil Gibran, I don't think it was the same one that we just saw this morning. That'd be more interesting story. Okay. But it's a part that said, your children are not your children. They are the sons of and daughters of life, longing for itself. And I thought, I wonder what Dad's going to think about me using a poem in the memorial service. He loved it. He thought it was fabulous. He told me that that was the very prayer he had given to his mother to have an understanding of him and his growth and his passage. What an amazing revelation happened. So I just want to say I'm so happy to have been his daughter, and so happy to be able to celebrate Father's Day with you here. Now, there's a signed copy, and I'm going to get there, I hope. This is about, today, what are we talking about today? Remember? The body remembers. So this body is creation. Body, physical, psychological, spiritual. It's all the body of God, the manifest body of God through each and every one of us. And Ernest Holmes says there is but one body of spiritual ideas. Spiritual body is a divine idea forever embodying itself in our temporary form. Now I know that temporary form, tells us how we should look and how we should dress and how much we should weigh, and when all that doesn't work, how they can fix it up. How they can fix it up. Things that used to be up went down, and things that were down need to go up, and all these problems. But for some reason, my mind went to Louise Hay. All you remember Louise Hay? Yeah, Louise Hay. Here's one of the books, old book, but the one that fell to my attention, let me show you. This one. It just fell right in my lap as I'm looking for something else. It's Heal Your Body. And it's about the metaphysical causation for physical illnesses. How many remember this? Remember her? She was pretty amazing. And at the time that I heard it, it sounded unusual to me. It sounded new to me. But you know that she was in Santa Monica. Her first print of that little book was in 1976. It was revised in 1979, and again June 1984. And she doesn't hold any punches. She was a practitioner, we would probably say. She called herself a teacher, and she was a New Thought minister. And in her dedication, she says, I have long believed the following. Everything I need to know is revealed to me. Everything I need comes to me. Just like this book fell out of the bookshelf when I'm getting ready to make a presentation. All is ancient and infinite. It's my joy and pleasure to gather together wisdom and knowledge for the benefit of those on the healing path. Are you on a healing path? How many think you're on a healing path? Uh-huh. And that's part of why we're in community. As we are lifting up, as we are taking classes, as we are learning the truth about our real selves, we practice the presence, practice the practicing, practice the teaching, and we have the demonstration that it's real. See, once you have experienced something for yourself, it really doesn't matter what your daddy said. I mean, it really doesn't. It really doesn't, because you know that you know that you know that you know. So she liked to call disease dis-ease, like it's something that's moving against that which is easy, which is our natural, whole, perfect, and complete physical and spiritual nature. She said, a few years ago I was diagnosed as having cancer of the vagina. With my background of being raped when I was 5 years old and being a battered child, it was no wonder that I manifested cancer in this area. Having already been a teacher of healing for several years, she says, I was very aware that I was now being given the chance to practice. How many of you think that's what you're going to say if you get diagnosed with cancer of anything? Cancer of the earlobe. I don't know if earlobes can actually get cancer, but my point being, would that be your attitude? Would that be your response? Oh, I've been given a chance to practice on myself and prove what I've been teaching others. Wow. That's really something to me, then and now, especially then. We're talking back in the 70s, 80s. Like anyone who has just been told they had cancer, I went into panic. Well, good to know, because that would be a human reaction, correct? I realized that if I had the operation to get rid of the cancer, and did not clear the mental pattern that created it, it wouldn't resolve the problem. It would just keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. the root cause, the cause that created it. So what she said she did, she realized, she knew that she knew that she knew. Have any of you ever said, look, I know something that you know, and maybe the other person doesn't know, but they can't convince you of something different, can they? If you really believe you know it, and your life shows it. We talked about demonstration. All right, so she says, I can clear the mental pattern that created the condition, but without doing that, she says she's just going to keep getting diseases, until there was nothing of her, it's her fear. So she said, so she decided that she would detoxify the body and mind, and she would do what she's been teaching others to do so long. Her mental and spiritual work. And do you know that every practitioner here, every licensed practitioner here, has been trained the same way. That's what the ministry of prayer is about. I mean, you might just jump up and say, oh, I'm a practitioner. Okay, well, you're practicing. But the licensed professional practitioner is more in alignment with Louise Hay and her teachings and the work that she dedicated her life to. It's pretty amazing when you really think about it. She said the point of power is always in the present moment. She said the smallest beginning will make a difference because we actually are part of that power and presence that empowers us. The same teaching, the same work that Louise Hay did. Well, so then all that's true, why don't I hear more about it? Someone thinking that, saying that. What we do in private is confidential. That's the sacred trust. The professional practitioners and ministers and I have between what you say in confidence, what the desires of your heart are, and the spiritual or private spiritual work that we do with universal law. So you may not hear all the stories. But you would understand that your privacy would need to be maintained as well, correct? Yes. Or you want just me to start talking about stuff? So the mental equivalence, that's the thought process that goes along. And she did a lot, I feel. She said, so now, she's back to her story now. Now I could stop blaming life and other people for what was going on in my life and my body. My mama made me do it. See? My daddy made me do it. What is the desire of your heart? What is coming to you? In books falling off a shelf, the stories appearing on television, what your neighbor said. Some people even get dreams. They go to sleep and whoop, the whole thing shows up there too. Spirit is for you, with you, guiding and protecting you. But you have to say, what's that say? What's it say? Yes. Yes! To changing thinking, changing life. To taking that class. To standing up and being the truth of who you really are. Even if you think your daddy may like it, may not. Your daddy might say, well, I've been waiting for you to wake up. Because they've seen you since you were pretty small. You know, once you grow, my daddy would say, as he helped pick a profession, because I wasn't that studious actually, school came easy to me. I just want to have fun and party. I'd go out and have friends, socialize, all that. And he says, you know, I've been watching you since you were a little child. And so that's what he did. He looked at how much money he thought he had. He picked a profession, since I wasn't, picking one. And, and he sent me. And so when I was about, I think about 19, 20, I had my first license in nursing. And that was enough to get in an older car. It wasn't like I got a fancy new car. But enough to get going, to get started, something to build on. And that was really important, because I was the oldest one. Others were coming. And he knew his limitation. But he also looked for compatibility with your own divine nature. The world does need you to shine your light. We sing those songs, but those are really true. Yeah. Need you to shine your light, your unique gifts and ideas. So she did a lot of work, I think, to bring many people the awareness of the mental causes behind the physical manifestation, physical, mental, spiritual manifestation. And I'm grateful to her. Almost everybody had seen this. These books are old. But when you talk about Jesus, when you talk about Ernest Holmes, when you talk about all the truth teachers, they're so much older. This is ancient wisdom that Ernest Holmes embodied and taught others, just like Louise Hay. So for this place, well, I'm so excited, really, to be here and have the experience of awakening, of learning, of seeing the demonstration that, whether you call it God, Spirit, Allah, the thing itself, whatever relates to your heart and soul and deep understanding, do that. Just like your fingerprints are different from the people sitting by you, so is your mission. So is your life purpose. And it may be along the same lines. God has given us each other and community to give an opportunity to learn, grow, serve, and benefit from the gifts that we have been given. So I want to close with offering you this. And this is Gandhi's peace prayer. And it says, I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. You sometimes feel people's feelings when they come to talk to you. Sometimes for me, it's sort of a double-edged sword, because when they come to me, a lot of times their feeling, their spirit is so powerful that I somehow tune to that, and maybe not always their names. I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. But it's like who you are, so large, so powerful, so dynamic. Sometimes I can't hear you. So please know I don't mean to be offensive. Just go ahead and tell me. One lady did that because while we were having, we had a study group, I think in the summer. And so we had a class, and it was on Zoom. But remember, we were all wearing masks and all these things too. And so the person came to me so kindly, and she didn't know what I just said, or did she? I don't know. But she came, and she had a mask and everything on. And she came and told me her name. Oh, I was in your class. Yeah. So I was happy about that. I got one right. So please tell me. Please tell. It's amazing. one lady came to tell me something, and she was telling me about her profession. But Spirit kept talking. You know, be quiet, I'm trying to listen. And so she was telling me what she did. But Spirit was telling me, she's an artist. And I kept saying, are you an artist? She goes, no. I said, okay. Well, several years later, she makes her whole living. She's doing sculpture, she's painting, she's doing greeting cards and jewelry. So you heard that phrase, who you are speaks so loudly I can't hear you. So Spirit within us is linked to the universal Spirit that is God, and we are connected to each other. So I offer you peace, I offer you love, I offer you friendship. I see, and in my case probably see and feel your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source, as does yours. Gandhi didn't say that, but I'm filling it in.
No.
I salute the source in you. Let us work together. This is Gandhi's prayer for peace. But what I want to leave you with is to encourage you to do your own prayer. What does peace look like to you? What does love look like to you? You look beautiful to me, but it doesn't really matter because what you think about yourself and your life is what you demonstrate. And I just want you to know it's all good. Thanks for being with us today. Happy Father's Day. Okay, so we're moving into benediction now. And so I invite you, if you would like to, close your eyes, outer eyes. Now listen, there's no more God when your eyes are closed versus when your eyes are open, but the focus is what I'm talking about here. So moving into prayer, let's recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one universal theme, teacher, presence, love that operates through law. And in this moment, I am joined in heart, mind, and spirit. And so very, very grateful, knowing that there is no spot where God is not. And so from this moment of celebration, of unity, of realization, I give thanks for all that has been revealed and all that is being revealed. In the name of spirit, in the name of love, in the name of divine possibility and blessings, I release this prayer treatment into the law-minded action, knowing that the truth has been revealed and everything has been healed. And so it is. Amen.
I'd like to applaud her. Is that okay if I can applaud her?
I mean, Reverend Wanda, you know what I think of when I think of peace and love?
No.
I think of you. I do. And I think of Kathy, all you guys, and the Revs. That's what you guys give. You give peace and love. So this was a song that I was going to sing for you before, like a dummy. Like a dummy. My daddy was a great singer, and yeah, he was a really great singer, and he loved this song. So I'm going to wish him a happy Father's Day in heaven. And this one is for you.
Don't let it get you down. Ooh, 'cause this whole world keeps spinning around.
shot down in May. But I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. Oh, that's life. As funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. But if they're, oh, it won't get me down, 'cause this final world keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race, 'cause that's what you do, that's life. Oh, and I can't deny it. I thought of quitting there, but my heart just won't bite. So if there's nothing shaking this here July, I'm gonna roll out and then I fly. Yes! I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race, 'cause that's life. Oh, that's life. Oh, and I can't deny it. I thought of cutting out, but my heart won't bite. And if there's nothing cheap this here July, I'm gonna roll, I'm gonna roll myself in a big ball and ooh, but I'm gonna make it, yeah. Ooh, 'cause that's life. Ooh, damn, baby. Tell me, David, isn't that life? Ooh, yeah, yeah. Woo. Oh, don't let it get you down. No, 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 no. 'Cause that's life. It's a bunch of yelling I'm doing today. Thank you so much. It's life.
Banging.
So saying,
This is that time of day that we call our giving and receiving, where we share our gifts and our tithes with each other and with Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. I would like to ask our ushers to please come forward. Oh, look at them, they're so cute. If you would please take your gift in your hand and say our affirmation with us. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And I hold my gift with my phone because we text to tithe. A lot of things are online these days, and we're grateful, especially in these last 2.5 years. I just simply want to offer gratitude for each and every gift and each and every tithe, knowing that it supports this ministry, this teaching, and it supports the giver. Because that's how it works. I'm just grateful for each and every one of you. I'm grateful to know that we're each abundant. We live in that opulence, and we live in that knowing that we are God in action. And that this Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living is a manifestation of that very thing. And so it is. So it is.
To believe I will receive, I just have to know and then declare it to be so with open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. All of it, right? Anything. I do believe, yes I do, I will receive. I just have to know and declare it to be so with an open mind. Yeah, just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. Anything I want, it is mine. Perfect health, it is mine. Joy and peace, it is mine. Love, 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 it is mine. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. It's meant to be ours, yes.
I love that.
That's my too.
I just have to say, I am so absolutely blessed that I decided to make the decision to go to bowling on Wednesday night because I won this beautiful dress that the Bob's grandmother, Jenny, made.
Yeah.
I mean, I just,
That's
Beautiful.
I'll wear it every Sunday from now. Every
matches the
Alrighty then. Okay. CSL has been having a summer movie series from June through August where you get the movie yourself and then you can discuss it with whoever is the one that picked out the movie, one of the ministers, and you get to discuss it and in a metaphysical way. And it's just $25 to join in on each one of those. So find a movie you like and do that. The Healing Words Book Club is going to be this Wednesday at 4 p.m. and they're discussing The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. So if you'd like to participate, just let Reverend Stacy know and she'll send you the Zoom link. And remember to look for Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living whenever you shop on Amazon. Go to smile.amazon.com and then we get a percentage from that when you do that. So remember, Patty Powers does it all the time. And the bookstore is open today, and I see there's all kinds of blankets for sale and all kinds of jewelry. Sorry, Powers. She's for sale too. Oh,
I'm showing off my Amazon stuff.
oh, all right. Well, see. And of course, all the books against the window are all 60% off. And let's see here. Oh, we've got the next class that's coming up is going to be on July 19th. It's from 3:30 to 5:30. It's a 3-hour class on Zoom, and it's our very own Jamie practitioner Jamie teaching that class, and it is going to be an accredited class as well. And there's a sign-up sheet out on the Happiness table, so just look at that. It's got a nice little description of the book that's going to be, which is the 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life. So it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous class. And then the day after that class starts, we've got this Wednesday at the Well on the 20th of July, and it says, join us for this spectacular in-person service facilitated by one of our practitioners, who is Sabrina Fricks.
And I have no idea what else is going to happen, but it says spectacular, so I'm sure that it is. So keep that in mind. And just remember to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I always have trouble with this for some reason. Why? I don't know. Facebook and Instagram, and then also watch for us subscribe to us on YouTube. And have a fabulous week, everybody.